Today's episode of Cocktails and Conversations is a heartfelt deep dive into artistry, entrepreneurship, and the powerful intersection of identity and creativity. This week, Ama Quashie, celebrated nail artist and founder of AMA The Salon, opens up about the journey that shaped her, from her early beginnings and creative influences to the values that now guide her both as an artist and a business owner. This is a rich and personal conversation about navigating life at the intersection of craft, commerce, and culture, and how she's redefining what it means to build a brand with both authenticity and intention. We talk about the beautiful and sometimes messy balancing act of running a creative business, the realities of being a woman of color in the beauty industry, and how Ama is creating a legacy that's rooted not just in her work, but in empowerment and representation. With a cocktail in hand, we reflect on self-definition, quiet confidence, and the importance of paving a path that honors where you come from while inspiring those who follow. For anyone carving their own path through creativity, entrepreneurship, or sheer determination, this episode is a masterclass of shaping legacy on your own terms. So pour yourself something beautiful, settle in, and join us for a conversation that is inspiring and rooted in building lasting impact. This is Cocktails and Conversations. Let's get into it. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Cocktails and Conversations with me, Deborah Babbio. Guys, I know I say this every week, but seriously, this week's guest, we're going to really kiki. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get I don't usually ask questions in this conversation, but let me just let her introduce herself. Ama.
Hi.
Welcome. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Ama Quashie. I'm
Don't be modest now. Come on, girl.
I'm a session manicurist and I'm a business owner.
What does a session manicurist mean when the people don't know?
So a session manicurist is, so I work in fashion, basically. Mm-hmm. So whether that be Fashion Week, whether that be advertising campaigns, whether that be editorials, the term session, I guess, applies to makeup, hair, but then even like session musicians, like guys that go on tours and stuff, they're session session musicians as well. So it's the same. So I'm a session manicurist, so that's what it means.
Nice. Well, welcome to Cocktails and Conversations. Before we get into it, let me pour you a drink.
Okay. What is it then?
We've already started.
What is it?
I don't have a name. I just like to create cocktails.
You're just I'm
just shaking.
Shaking and pouring. Okay.
But shaking and pouring is a good thing,
shaking
girl.
And
shaking and pouring. Well, let's see if you like it. To be
okay.
honest, like, because I didn't know what to make you.
But you said it's gin based. This one.
This is gin based.
Okay.
Yes, this is gin based. So this is one for you.
Thanks.
I just like pretty drinks.
It's good colour. I like the colour. I like the colours. I like the green and...
You know me. I'm always about the colours.
It smells good.
Let's cheers to us. What are we choosing to?
Life.
Survival.
Freelance life.
Girl, we could talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try this.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
You see?
Shake.
Okay.
Shake and pour.
Shake and pour is working.
Yeah, shake and pour is
I'm
working.
telling you, I need to open my own cocktail bar. Please, God. Come on, manifesting. Come on. This is good. I might finish this.
Yeah, it's good. These are a bit dangerous though.
I know this thing. But you have to make it look pretty though. You have to make it look pretty. But let's get into it. Before we get into where you are now, where did it all start? What was Little Ama like?
What was Little Ama like in terms of?
In terms of everything, girl.
Okay.
Give me the tea. What were you like?
I think I was quite like a confident child.
Okay.
I was quite artistic.
As me, you're from an African background.
Yeah. My dad's from Ghana, my mum's British.
So how did that, because I know for me, when I said I wanted to do something creative, my dad was like, huh?
Oh, yeah, but in terms of my actual career now, this wasn't my first career.
Oh, tell us.
So... Yeah, so basically when I was doing like GCSEs, I did like art as well as the standard core. I did art and drama because I kind of wanted to get into acting maybe at that point, but not really, but kind of. And then, so when I was picking my A-levels, it was like, okay, what am I going to do? I was quite good at English. I was like, okay, English. I wanted to do drama. So I was like, drama. And then my dad was like, listen, you also need to do another, like...
the African parents.
Yeah. I mean, he's still African parent. Like, my dad isn't too, like, you have to be a lawyer, doctor, blah, 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 because he's not really that himself. And he's like, the youngest of like 8 siblings. So he's a bit of a black sheep himself.
Okay.
But he still was like, okay, you need something a bit more grounding. So if you're going to do English and drama, maybe media studies. Because then it will be like the actual kind of like his idea was it was kind of be the background of the theory behind the drama, the TV, the whatever you want to do. So I did that. And then loved media studies, ended up dropping drama for like my actual degree and did media and cultural studies as my degree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh.
That's where I met Clara.
No
So
way.
me and Clara were at university together.
No way.
Yeah.
And that's Clara Ampho for everyone. Yeah.
So like we went to university together. So did media, art and cultural studies. And then I was very ambitious when I was younger.
Amen to that.
Yeah. And I think in some ways more ambitious than I am now. Like I was just like, and that's
what do you mean?
I was just driven, determined,
right.
whatever it was that I was going to do. I just like would find ways around it. And I think when you're younger, as you get older, you start to learn the codes and conducts of how things are done. Whether you realising you're learning it or not, you are. And even if you're rebelling a bit, you're still kind of going along with it. Whereas when you're younger, you have the ignorance of not even understanding the rules. So you just go, you just do whatever tries to make sense, you know? And I knew I wanted to get into media by that point when I was doing my degree, but I didn't have any ins. So then like any opportunity I had to talk to someone, I would. So when I was like, I would have been about maybe 18, I think I'd gone to like Blue Water with like my boyfriend at the time. And these people stopped us because they were doing a Sky commercial, an internal Sky commercial. They were like, do you want to be in it? You'll get paid. So we did like this audition thing. And
influencer from day.
No, internal Sky advert, right? It didn't get on any TV screens. So then we did it. And then the people that had been booking us to do it, I then was like, look, is there anyone you know that I could do work experience with? He gave me a contact at ITV. I was emailing her. And then from there, I got a work experience placement. And then I was running at Channel 4 and I was running at different like production companies while I was doing my degree, while I was working at Orange on the weekends.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a whole different Ama than I know.
It's a whole different Ama. Wow. But I was just always, like, it was always something. Do you see what I mean? And then like, so then that's what we did. And then I was doing my degree and I was doing work experience. And then from there, I was at ITV in the entertainment department. And then they then started paying me outside of the work experience. Whenever they needed an extra hand, I would go there on my holidays and work for them as well. So then, And that was,
Sorry, I didn't mean to stunned because I just know her in a different capacity. So just I'm learning this the same way as you guys. And that's just...
And then some of my friends, like grime was big then. And I mean, it still is now, but like it was the infancy of it, I guess. And some of my male friends, they were really into it and they were like wanting to do a grime DVD because this was like what was beginning to pop off, right? So then we formed a collective and then we went around and like they knew all the like rappers and artists, well, they didn't know them, but they kind of were like fans. So they kind of knew where they might be. So we would go to like I don't know, things and interview them and come up with questions.
Wow.
Yeah. And then and I would
where can we find this stuff?
You can't. It's literally in like my friend's mum's attic.
We need to bring it back into YouTube.
I would borrow the HD cameras from ITV.
No way.
They would allow me to borrow them. They trusted
to like, take it out.
Now, as an actual real adult, it's crazy.
Very crazy because I've worked in those kind of places and you can't take nothing.
And this is like cameras like this. They were
expensive cameras,
and we were taking them to like these little like MC battles of Tottenham Court Road and stuff. And we filmed all this stuff and we'd ask them the questions, and then from there. Then I like met more people, and then some people that I knew were like setting up it was almost like a BT UK before BT had come to the UK, and it was called Just Fabulous.
Wow, I can remember that.
And so then when we graduated university, but I don't mean even graduation ceremony, I mean like when we finished, the day we finished university, before we even had our graduation late that year, me and Clara started working there. Wow. So then we never had that summer off. Like we just went straight into work.
So you didn't know that whole, let's like, chill in the house. And
there was no chill in the house. Yeah. Like I was just hungry and I didn't even necessarily know what I was hungry for. But I just kind of was always...
But you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it because no one was making me do this.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't
this wasn't anyone pushing me to do this. And then we worked there full time. And then from there, the job that I'd kind of helped out at ITV became available. So then I then got that job and like did that a bit and then went from then... ITV, then I went to like a BBC placement, and then I kind of went. Then I got made redundant, and I was just a bit like.
So sorry to go back to you. So were you producer or were you front camera? Like, so you were
So at ITV, I was within the entertainment department. So like I was part of like the shows that we did, like Parkinson, and that Takeaway and all these kind of things. And I was like 21.
Wow. So running basically like a showrunner.
No, is in like helping the audience department get in, like in the whole construction of it as well.
Wow. That's a whole.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're doing all that.
Yeah.
Got made redundant
from ITV.
Right.
Was like, all right, I'm going to go to Ghana and recalibrate.
Always advice,
For a couple
guys.
of months.
If you ever need to just recoup, go to Ghana. But I don't know if it's recoup because that's a different Ghana. We're going to that.
But also, it wasn't quite that.
Yeah, that's
Ghana
what I'm saying. It wasn't that
right?
quite.
And like,
because going to Ghana was a punishment.
Yeah, and I was like
punishment for us.
I think I would have been like 23 at this point, and like I remember saying to my dad, "I'm coming to Ghana." He was there.
Okay.
He was like, "No, stay, get another job." I was like, "No, I'm coming." And I had an open ticket, and I was like, "I'll see you in 2 weeks' time or whatever it was." I went to Ghana, and then was like, "Okay, I want to stay in media, but I don't think I want to do TV production anymore." And ironically, I never wanted to go for roles that were freelance within media. I found it really scary and really like
because
unstable.
There was
and that's why it's ironic that now I am a freelancer and I have been for the last 15 years in fashion. But like I would never do it. So then, anyway, so I recalibrated and I was like, maybe I'll get into like advertising or media planning and stuff like that. So I came back after my couple months in Ghana and then started interviewing.
So what did you do in Ghana?
Just
chill.
Annoyed my dad and just chilled. Did nothing.
And good food.
Yeah, I don't even know what I did. I just did nothing. Like I just kind of had time.
But then I guess that's your time. Like because you, like you said, you never had that time after uni. So I guess that was your break to really just
do nothing.
And
I came back and then started working at a media agency. So then worked at a media agency called Mindshare. It's part of the WPP group, and then was there for ages. And then I was there for like 5 years, something more. And then
doing the same thing in terms of producing.
No, this was then like, because it was now a media agency, I was the gap between the clients that they had, and this is when advertiser funded programming was starting to get big. So it was then us making our brands find TV shows, films that aligned with their client base.
Okay.
Whether it be a TV advert, whether it be a show sponsored by blah, blah, blah.
Right. So when you see that, this program is sponsored by Muller Light or whatever.
Kind of. But then more than it just being the name at the beginning of the show, it also would be, they'd have some control over the show a little bit.
Oh, really?
A
They'll have
little bit,
input?
kind of input, or like depending what it was.
Okay.
It was everything from like I said, TV adverts to like collaborations to all sorts of things. So I was there for like 5-6 years and then started to hate it.
As we do. Anything fun.
Started to hate, I think I started to hate what I would have had to have become to have progressed and like just the culture.
We don't talk about
it.
that enough.
Yeah.
We can go back to that, but we don't talk about that part.
Yeah. And the culture of it, like it was a media agency. It was very opulent when I got into it. And then it was like one of the crashes. So then it went from people just sending people bottles of champagne and flowers to come in for lunch for nothing, to then it kind of died down a bit and just became a little bit less opulent. And I didn't enjoy the culture of it by the end of it. So I then, after one day, like meeting up with a friend, she came round and we were discussing what we wanted to do to make ourselves happier. Because at this point it was just like, we want to be happier.
Yeah.
So we both decided to train up in things that we both loved. And mine was nails and jewelry design. So
why?
Because those are just two things I just always just liked with no real intention.
Right.
So then I did a jewelry design course at Central St. Martin's, and then I did a nail course. Wow. And then,
So whilst working, you did
I was
that,
doing these courses.
and you just thought, let's just do it, just
to make myself happier.
Right.
And like by that point, like I knew people that had gone into music. I knew people that like did hair for like artists and stuff like that. So then I started like, as well as my.
So when was this, like 2000s? Like when?
This would have been I always have to like figure out how old I am and then go backwards. So we're 2025 now. So this would have been like 2008, 2009.
Okay. Wow.
And then started doing like nails for like friends and family, like local people, obviously off peak when I wasn't working. And I was living in Sydenham at this point. And
so the jewelry stuff didn't really.
I just did the course. I didn't do anything with it. Do you know what I mean? And then Jo Elvin, who was the editor of Glamour then, she would get on my train every day, and I knew what she looked like, right? So then I was and one day she walked past me on the platform, and I went up to her. Just like we got on the train, and I knew she lived. We got off at the same station, but over the course of the journey, I just got up and went and sat next to her. She must have thought I was mad. And then I was like, oh, introduced myself and said, this is what I want to do. And she was like, wow, okay, like, come and meet me in the office. And then I went to her office and then did her nails. And ironically, like, I didn't end up doing anything, but like, it was just something, you have to have that bravery to like throw yourself into something sometimes. And I think as you get older, that bravery
dwindles
down,
a little bit.
It dwindles a little bit. And so then from there, just things started happening. I would start doing like nails for like UK artists or American artists when they came over, and I was doing a lot more music artists, but I was still working full time at this point.
And that's through the relationship you had from the music people that you used to work with.
Yeah, just kind of, and just people then starting to know that I was doing this and stuff like that. And then I then left the media agency, started working for the Mail Group. Had a boss there who was just amazing.
Oh, the Mail Group. Sorry, I was like, which Mail Group?
Yeah.
But
the Mail?
I was like, which like who? Which take that? Which one? Like,
started working for them and had a boss there called Paul who was amazing. And I told him what I did from the beginning, as in like I did nails as well. And he was really supportive. And anytime I had a magazine with my name in the credits, he'd be like, let me see it. He would give me time off if I needed it. He was just the most supportive person. And I remember I was kind of in this very lucky position that at that point nails were really huge. Nail art was getting huge. And there was a lot of demand basically. So I was assisting at Fashion Week. I was doing some of my own jobs. And then I was actually on my first ever Vogue job when I found out that he'd been made redundant, and that meant I'd been made redundant.
oh, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Huh?
Because I was directly underneath him.
Right.
Yeah. But the thing is for the year before that, I'd actually tried to leave because I was like, I feel like I'm not doing my job properly. Right. And then he said, no, but I don't feel like you're busy enough with this that you probably can leave yet.
Right.
Like,
because
he was
you
giving
don't
me a warning. He was giving me a warning.
He's trying to tell you.
He was like, I don't think you're quite there. But he was like, if you want to go part-time, you can do that. I don't want to lose you. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but it's not, at that point, I was no one's first choice. So it's not like I know I'm going to do a shoot on a Thursday and a Saturday. So
can you explain to our audience when you say first choice, like the choices in terms of when people are being booked?
I mean, that like when if I get a job option, they can have a first or a second on me, and equally I might be their first or second choice. So how it works is that, for example, I may have 2 job options on the same date, for example, right? However, it could be that I already have given my first to the first job that optioned me, right? So then, therefore, the second job gets the second. If for some reason the first job doesn't happen or I don't do it, then I can then say to the second option, you are now the first.
Yes, okay.
But then equally that works on the other side, whereby if a magazine option you, a brand optioning you, they may have 5 people that they're optioning for the one role, but then they might have their first and second options of choices within that as well.
Right.
But
and you weren't getting that.
What I mean by that is I was just no one's first choice. I wasn't a big name. No one really knew me. Like I was probably someone that you'd get if other people weren't available at that point. So I couldn't commit to, okay, I'll do all my shoots on Thursdays or Fridays. It doesn't work like that, right? Equally, because I was no one's first choice at that point, I would get the options the night before. Yeah. No one was trying to put an option on me.
I remember those times I used to call you and be like, Emma, can you...
Like, do you see what I mean? It just wouldn't happen. Yeah. So then, like, because of that, then I was just like, I don't know. And he just said, look, I'll just support you. When you have an option come in, we have a job come in, we'll make it work. Let me know. Yeah. Let me know and we'll do what we can do.
That's really rare.
Very rare.
Wow.
Very rare.
Where are you people? Like, what industry are you in? Because maybe I might like
he was so supportive. Like, it was crazy. And then, like, I was literally on my first ever Vogue job, and with Cara Delevingne and Walter Pfeiffer was shooting it. And it was a 2-day job, and we were shooting in like Tunbridge Wells or something crazy. And literally, like, he'd been made redundant, which meant I had. And I said, I tried to leave before.
You on set?
I was on set when my friend gave me the heads up, right? And I tried to leave before, but I was like, and in a way, I was in such a good position that I was earning a full-time wage and making money from nails. I wasn't having to really compromise. And then, so I got made redundant. And then I remember telling my dad, and And
I was
he
going to say, how was the parents?
He always knew that plan was always that I was going to jump into nails full time. Right. That was always like the projection. But it was almost like Paul being so supportive made it so sweet that how was I ever going to make this jump? Do you know what I mean? When he was literally giving me like
the everything, basically.
Everything. I was never turning down jobs. Anyway, so I went and told my dad that like I've been made redundant. And he was like, "Hey, well, you gonna look for another job?" And I was like, "No, because this is it now."
So you decided no.
Yeah, because I was like, "This is what I've been aiming, or like this is what I've been working towards." And now the decision's been taken out of my hands. I've had.
And nails was making you happy, like when you work these jobs.
100%, because it was so variable. Like who I would work with day to day, the job was so different. Do you know what I mean? And I guess in a way that's maybe why it was right, because, like I said, when I worked in media, from when I graduated all the way through until I stopped that career altogether, the idea of being a freelance was scary as hell to me. I always managed to find a role that was permanent, right? But now I was then going straight fully into like a freelance life with no security. You know what I mean? And so, my dad said, "You're going to find another job." And I was like, "No, because I'm never going to find another Paul." And I'd had horrible bosses in that period. So I knew how difficult it could be trying to juggle this with a horrible boss. And I was just like, no, like this is the jump I've been meaning to do. So I then went freelance.
What was his feedback when you said that?
My dad was just like, "Okay, well, you know."
He knew. I can see his face now.
He was like, he knew
African parents. Oh, okay.
He was like, "Okay, let's see what happens," you know. And then I was signed within 6 months. So because luckily, again, in that time, I'd been doing loads of jobs for loads of agencies. So I kind of like knew people by that point, and everyone knew I had a full-time job, and everyone knew that I was going to make the jump. So then it was just a case of I've done it now. Do you see what I mean? And then building slowly from there.
And in that space, because I come from the creative space, you must have been the only person of color doing nails.
Wasn't.
You weren't.
I wasn't. There was quite a few of us. Just people. They weren't well known.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I didn't.
They were women in generations before us.
One or two, but
there was women in generations before us. They just never.
What happened? How did you break that mold? Because
I don't know, because I think in terms of like the generation before, I can think of 2 women that are probably older than me, or that are older than me, and they were doing session stuff, and they would work. People just didn't know their names. They just weren't household names like that. If I'm going to be completely candid,
that's what we want on this couch.
When I got into nails, nail art was huge. Like nail art was huge. Wah was big. All of this, you know, and 2 of the biggest nail artists in the UK were both white women, and they were white women who dipped into street style, let's say, right. And I made a very active decision when I first started doing nails that I was going to really focus on being really good at a classic manicure, and that I was going to focus on being a great painter rather than be trend, because trends come and go, trends changes. So I wanted to make myself like a really strong candidate across the ages a little bit. And that's what I focused on. And so actively, I remember like when I first started, well, not even when I was doing nails, and by the point I was signed, there would be options I would get that I wouldn't necessarily do.
Right.
Because equally,
you made that conscious decision.
Yeah.
Right, because you didn't want to be like typecast. Yeah.
Because I knew I would be typecasted.
Right.
And
they were coming for you because of You knew why they were, those ones.
And this is, what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy. No. I don't want it to be rude, and I don't want it to be, but it'd be like, oh, you know, like Little Kim's coming to town, Mary J. Blige is coming into town.
They were trying to box you into that.
And I'm happy to do that. But
absolutely.
Then, you're not, there's other people, like, where's Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
Where's...
And if you were getting both, then that would be by the fact that they were.
And it's not that I just want the Nicole Kidman or I just want the this. And these, I'm just saying these names. It's not actually these names. Yeah. But I'm just saying.
It's an example.
It's an example, right? The point is, why am I only getting these options, right? And not getting all of the options that other people are getting, right? And equally, you know, the people I'm thinking of, like, they were very like, you know, street, but not, but whatever. Let's not like, you know, whatever. And they would still get the Vogue options, and they would still get the big campaigns, and they would still.
They were getting the variety of options.
They had the full spectrum.
Where they would come to you for specifics and very
and because I've seen this happen to women previous to me, that they've been typecasted, or they've been given a certain type of job.
I see.
So I was just like, okay.
You made that. This is like you wanted.
I was just like, I'm gonna be a classic manicurist, and then I can do nail art.
Were you concerned that they would, if you kept saying no, because our industry, you know how it'd be. If you kept saying no to this agency or this person, they always come through and they'll stop asking you. Were you?
I mean, there was a bit of that, and like I remember, like I had an agent that was like, you know, if you keep saying no to X, Y, Z, you know, you can't put your eggs in this basket. But this basket that I was putting my eggs in was a much bigger basket and a much more well-established, well-respected, bigger name in the fashion industry. And I was like, you just want to give me crumbs. Like, why are you giving me crumbs?
Girl. Yes,
and it was literally that.
And that's how, what was it, early 2000s, and we're still getting crumbs in 2025.
It was actual crumbs, and like I'm really biting my tongue to not say the names, but like, like my agent, there was a photographer I used to work with a lot, and the rate was trash, and all of it was trash, and the pictures were trash, and just none of it was cute. And then I started working with a much bigger photographer, much more respected photographer, bigger rates. And I would try and make myself more available for him and his team. And then my agent was like, okay, but you can't put your eggs in this basket because you just keep saying no to this person. But why do you want me to have crumbs?
I love that from an early time. You're really, because in the creative industry, and I know everyone sees it as glamorous and wants to be, but they do kind of really want you to accept, like, be grateful
and they
for
really
the crumbs.
categorize you as well.
They really
but
just
also,
like.
I think what it was ironically, this agent who was my agent, right? I remember just
didn't fight for you. They were telling you to.
But also, just before I signed with her, I remember one time we were at a brand party, like a beauty brand, and she was selling me to someone. I can't remember why. And she hadn't signed me at this point, but we both knew she was going to. And she was just like, you know, Ama's great because she's the full package. She's got the smart, she's got the thingy. And what I think it was that where I'd come from a media background, where I'd worked from a media agency, where I had clients and I'd been the client, I understood the relationship in things, right? I understood, not everything, but I just understood it a little bit. I had a bit of more of an insight into things, right? So, like she actively, I mean, I don't want to make this whole thing about that situation, but like actively, like, things like I then found out like there were brands that had put options on me and she told them I wasn't available and things like that.
Wow. Someone said this, like, I'm going to bring it back to this day in terms of like, I heard someone say that some people don't, in this world of social media and influencers, right? The management or the team you have really, it's a make or break because they're the first point of call to the client. Sometimes you don't, literally with the work I do, sometimes I DM talent directly because I don't want to deal with it, or I want them to know that this is definitely for them, or this has happened, or this invite came for them. Because literally, I know for a fact the talent will DM me saying, yeah. Go to the team. Oh yeah, they're not available. But and the fact that I knew that they weren't, I could push back, irked some people. But it's really that those ones when you don't have the relationship, you can't always, you know. I know a lot of people, but I don't know a lot of people. But those things, sometimes I do wonder: are they actually showing them these invites? Are they
there's definitely gatekeepers. There's definitely gatekeepers on every level. And sometimes
it's so frustrating.
Like sometimes having an agent, they are there to fight for you, and sometimes they're there to have awkward conversations that you can't have, maybe because you have a relationship with someone or whatever it is. But then equally, my whole thing in both of those scenarios that I said was that it was never that I want to be above anyone else, but it's like, why are you not offering me as an option to these clients?
At least.
Let the client pick who they want.
Absolutely.
In the same way, like, why are you only giving me A? Why are you not offering me B?
You've signed me. You're
to
taking
make
a
me successful, but you put the glass ceiling here for me.
Basically, because do you think it's a form of they want to be like they made, like they...
Yeah, 100% that. But then there also is like, okay, in this like pool of clients that we have, that person is that, and this person is that, and then out of that we have the whole spectrum covered. Right. If both of your artists are then going for this, do you see what I mean? As an agency, you're losing money, but you're not thinking about the artist.
Yeah. It is that, and it's I hear you. I thought it happened in the talent space, but also obviously in that agency space, it is across that board where they do. It's this, the gatekeeping in our industry is. That's a whole conversation we could have. We could be here all day for like some of the things I've seen is wild or heard or or experienced, you know, and it's just like, that's why it's always good to, like you said, build your own relationships.
It's always good for us to have our relationships because
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, because you can also leave an agency or leave someone, and it's on you to
need to then be able
if
to,
you're solely relying on your agent or solely relying on this person, it could be cutting you from jobs. So you have to build your own kind of island, and then hopefully the people will come.
And also the thing
right?
is, it's like with you might do an event and the talent comes. Is you and the talent at that event? It's not the agent. The same thing with me. I might be on a job with a photographer, with a stylist, a brand.
it's you.
My agency might talk to that photographer's agent, but it's me and that person on set together. So it's always it's just about your relationships as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you manage that? Because obviously, in our industry, you do need that middleman. Like you said, you do need someone to speak on your behalf or push the rate, or because you've got the relationship, you don't want to have those awkward and uncomfortable conversations. They are key. Having someone as a buffer is key. I mean, we live in the world of social media and influencers. That's everyone's literally the amount of like talent agencies I've seen pop up is
it's crazy,
wild. You know, so it's like, how do you manage that as a artist, as a talent? Because you are a talent yourself. I see it as a talent. We're going to talk about nails, dive deep into that, because what you're doing for our industry is so incredible. But how do you navigate that? Because knowing you need them, right? Knowing you want to be part of those jobs and not, like, how do you speak up and advocate for yourself but not ruffle
Well, I'm
the
with
feathers?
a different agency now.
Yeah, but in that sense.
I'm with a different agent now, and I have been for like the last nearly 7 years. I think, like, again, part of the reason I left my first agent was because I think where she was my first, she then kind of in her head made me, but then also kind of, like I said, kept that ceiling above my head and kept me in a certain box and wasn't really wanting me to break out of that box. So part of me freeing myself of that was like, actually, I need a new agent. And when this agency approached me, asked me to have a meeting with them, I was very clear about that with them, that I don't want to be in another situation whereby I'm being held back from jobs, whereby, you know, I'm being like held back generally. Like, I need transparency. And I mean, now, like, I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm in a very different space with it. And, you know, before I came here, I was literally in the car park on the phone to my agent, talking about a job we're doing this week and a job we're doing in July. So I think it's about, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's not like it's always easy to be like, no, I need more, I need this, I need that. Like, it's the things that we still struggle, I still struggle with sometimes. But then there's also, like, a general feeling of, like, I have to remind myself that, no, like, I'm not a kid in this anymore.
Girl,
and I'm not like, you know,
I didn't just come. I didn't just finish the course
and I'm not
and start trying to be.
I've
been
doing it for 15 years.
You've put in the work.
Yeah.
When you've put in the work, and I think that's what the whole crumbs thing is like. Till this day and age, some people literally make you feel like, why are you not grateful for the crumbs?
Yeah.
How dare you ask for more? How dare you ask for the whole slice?
Yeah.
And it's just like, but
you're just dashing out to everyone else, left, right, and centre.
I know you're not.
You're just dashing it out.
Literally.
You're coming with a fat piece for everyone else, and then I'm getting like this corner slice, and I'll just be like, oh, thank you so much. Like, no,
right?
Listen, I'm not someone who blows my own horn. I don't really I don't give it the big I am, but you still have to be like, remind yourself of what you have done sometimes, and remind yourself that like, you are supposed to be here. You put the hours into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have been doing this for X amount of time, and that you've got that track record. Yeah, you've got the track record.
You've got the receipts.
Yeah,
you've got the receipts.
And it's not, I'm not just you're not just winging it,
right?
Exactly.
You're not winging it. You're not saying you're doing it and not doing it. Like, there's some people are. Some people are literally like saying they're doing stuff, and you're like, no.
I think as well as like wanting to kind of be like, take my craft really seriously, and when I first got into it, I think I also was very intentional with the idea that I wanted this to be a career. I didn't want this to be like a phase. I didn't want this to be like, oh, this is the hot trend right now, so I'm jumping on it. This is what I wanted as my career. So whether that meant I got, Instagram was kind of in its infancy at that point, but like, okay, yeah, it's great to have X amount of 1,000 followers or whatever, but I was always very like, and that's why I said before we started recording, like, I don't do a lot of these kind of things. I'm not the most
You're not. That's why I'm so
front-facing
happy
person.
you're here.
Like, I'll do it, but like, I don't need to be all up in it. It's just not,
yeah.
it's not a space I'm super comfortable in. But then even outside of that, my main thing was just that I actually want the actual career.
Yeah.
I want the actual like
and the
portfolio.
work to speak for itself.
Yeah, like I want it. I don't want to front it.
And your portfolio is extensive. Extensive.
I've been very lucky.
It's incredible, and like literally, I remember when I saw your name on the BOF 500. I was like, you're the first nail person to be, and that was wild to me, because in our industry, whether you're in film, media, magazines, campaigns, nails are literally red carpet when you're styling for nails are done. Like they'll always book a nail person, but no one ever talks about nails. Like, and to see you there, I literally shed a tear because I was like, no, seriously, because it was like. I love nails. Yeah. Everyone knows me. I love a good nail. Nails are my thing. Yeah. And to see that, I just felt like even just now, they're making a big fuss about nails because of Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, yeah.
But before, no one ever talked about nails on the red carpet. Yeah. No one ever talked about nails on the show. Yeah. Like every where I used to work, like we did beauty, right? And backstage was all about the makeup or the hair. Yeah. No one ever talked about, and so I love that now. Please do more content, because when I see it, I'm so like, and I'm reposting, because it's not, we don't see it. We do don't get me wrong, nail art, like I said, has been big, and there's all that stuff, but they kind of typecast it like it's kind of not, it's very mainstream. It's not mainstream, or it's trendy, or it's because this person has built this. But the way you, I could be, I just get so like emotional about it, because it's just. Please keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Please keep doing what you're doing, because it's needed. We need to talk about it more. We need to show the youngers coming up that it's not all just about being the stylist or the photographer.
No, there's like millions of different spaces.
So many different
and even
spaces
within each space, there's loads of spaces. Like there's so many great nail artists that I'm nothing like, and they're nothing like me.
Yeah.
There's like,
it doesn't have to be.
And there's so many more technologies and more mediums and new products and stuff that like people can be so varied in their taste and there's enough for everyone. Their creativity. Yeah,
there's enough for everyone. Yeah. Everyone has their space. Everyone has their and the collaborators. There's so much scope. So there's not like, oh, this one's better or that. There's just so much. Like every day there's something. There's something to learn, something to develop. There's something to evolve in. Yeah. Creativity is endless. You know, it's like it really is. So. But to be honest, it just warms my heart to see that. So please just carry showing it. The fact that I don't know if I can mention some of the people you've worked with.
I'm sure you can.
Okay, so literally, Ama has done some incredible, like, I can't even, for me, what you do for Simone Rocha's show is sensational. Because like I said, with fashion shows, they don't really concentrate on what the nail is doing, right? In terms of what, and I've seen you, I've had privilege to see you like be in that space. Yeah. And it's no, I want to say it's equally as important as the hair. And I love that they give you that.
Simone really is a beauty girlie.
They give you
like,
that.
She always we always hair, makeup, nails. A lot, sometimes when you do some shows, and I get it, because again, not every brand, not every collection has to be everything. Yeah. You don't have to throw everything at it if it doesn't work. So I'm quite happy that if it's makeup moment, if it's hair moment, whatever, to take a back seat and do a natural nail, do whatever. But what I love about Simone is that genuinely she's such a beauty girly that we all get our moments. Hair, makeup and nails, we all get like...
No, you really do. I look forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, we have made some really...
I really look forward to what you make and designs. How you make, and how it is so cohesive with the whole collection. Yeah. Like you said, some as always, the budget doesn't the pit or the time or there's the moment. It's about the hair or whatever the clothes. It's all of that. That's great. But I love it when a brand or a client gives you that moment and the way you tie it into. It's not just doing it just to do it or to stand out. It's to do it.
It has to be in the world of
what they're doing, and the way you do it, and the way you bring it all together. It really makes me happy, because I just feel like not enough people are doing that, or not enough autonomy and kind of grace given to, or even just the credit where credit is due. You know, it's like they don't, like every set, every movie that you've ever watched, someo's there doing the person's nails.
100%.
Someone's there doing the person's nails, but no one
meanwhile,
ever literally. Like it fascinates me. It really, really fascinates me. So when I saw you the BOF 500, I was just like, yes, Team Imran or whoever chose it. I'm so glad, and I hope it continues. I hope it's not a one-off.
Same.
I really, really
like when
hope it continues.
because I didn't even realize, like, I got the nomination and I just got back. It was in August, whatever, like 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago maybe.
Two years,
I got the email saying, "Oh, you've been nominated," blah blah blah, and I thought it was like
Spam.
Like, okay, so in fashion, August.
See, that's how rare it is.
Genuinely, like in August in fashion shuts down. So we don't really work. We go on holiday because we can't really
until the
have a
collections
holiday
are done
any other time
we
because
really don't.
freelance life, you just can't.
You
right?
really don't.
Anyway, so August is usually, I will go on holiday in August because I know I'm not going to miss out on work. So I got back from one holiday and then was about to go on another holiday and then got this email come through being like, "You've been nominated for BOF." I just forwarded it to my agent and literally went to like the kitchen or something. Right, just went about my day to go and do something else, thinking like, this is literally spam. This is literally, let me just forward it to her, but it's spam. Yeah. Came back and she called me like 5 times, emailed me, and I missed it. She was screaming like blah blah blah, and I was like, "So we think it's real?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Yeah." Anyway, whatever. Then you have to like complete all this stuff, send a picture, blah blah blah. Like say what your nationality is, and all these kind of like random things.
I know he likes to do that.
Yeah. And then like your back history or whatever, and then. Anyway, so then you get nominated and you can't tell a soul and for like 2-3 months until the day
September,
before.
Yeah, September,
I think
Paris.
it's like early October. You can't say anything to the day before the ceremony, and then you can announce it. And then and the day before, I think they'd announced it, and then I'd been told I could announce it, and I was talking about it with my agent, and I was like, and I wanted to see what other nail artists had said, like because we have to do like this like little bio bit, and I was just trying to see what other people had like said and did. And when I was going through it, I couldn't find another manicurist. And so then I said to like my agent,
and BOF has been a long time.
Yeah,
like, they do those lists
for like 30 years or something. I think maybe not 30, but like maybe 30, like 20 to 30 years. I think it's been going. And then I said to my agent, I said, "Can you check with them, like in case I haven't missed, like because you can go through like all the like like members." So she asked them, and they were like, "No, Ama is the first one.
You're the first."
So then in my little kind
female.
of like,
can we take a minute? Like seriously. That's a moment. Like, if you're not in the industry, that's a moment. And when I saw it, I was like, girl, like, what you're, like, seriously? Yeah, you're doing the thing. You're doing the thing, and we appreciate you. So how did it turn from, doing sessions, doing campaigns, magazines, to now, Ama Salon?
Well, the salon's going to be 7 later this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. I remember the opening.
Yeah.
How was that 7 years ago?
7 years. Yeah.
God damn.
Time really flies.
Where does time go? Yeah.
I mean, a whole pandemic, a whole end of the world,
Seriously.
things, you know. But yeah, so it's 7. Well, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been going for a while.
Yeah. Surviving pandemic and being a bricks and mortar business is not easy.
It's not easy. So, yeah, basically, like I thought, obviously I was doing my own work, and then I kind of played with the idea of like maybe having a kind of nail service in Ghana. So I'd gone to Ghana like that summer and was like, how could this work in terms of it being, but I was thinking about it more being like mobile service.
Right.
Like, you know, like going to people's apartments, going to, I don't know, just like more of a mobile
But would you have
thing.
moved to Ghana? Because you know Ghana.
This is right.
Because you know Ghana be like.
This is all the pitfalls of it that like, I was like, let me see how feasible and logistical this is at this point. Like, because I want it to be, I didn't see it being a standalone salon, right? I saw it being like something that people have, right? In their homes, in their workplaces, whatever, like a kind of like luxury to you service.
Right.
However, obviously now things are different, guys. Remember, this is like 8 years ago. Plus,
not that
right?
different.
But in the sense of at that point, there was no GPRS.
Yeah,
there was no Uber and stuff in Ghana at that point.
That's very true.
So I was just like, from a practical point of view, if we're sending people out to go and do this, like, come on, we're not here to shame Ghana because we love it.
We're from Ghana. We're not shaming Ghana
in terms
at all.
Of, unless you're like in real nice places, there's no I live at 23,
no.
Right.
I live by the red house by the
so
in the corner.
How is it going to work logistically? Do you see what I mean? And so that was a bit of a stumbling block. And then also I was like, okay, again, African time, but like I want it to be something that like if someone books an appointment at 2:00,
it's 2:00.
It's 2:00.
No, madam, please, I'm coming.
Right, because this needs to be a profitable business.
Exactly.
Therefore, people book that slot and they're there at that slot, and if they're not, they get charged. But it was all these stumbling blocks that I was like, how is this actually going to work? Like, I don't know if it's going to work at this moment.
Right.
So then I kind of just parked it, and again, it wasn't something that I was in like some major rush to do. It was just something that was bubbling, you know.
Of course.
And then I came back and I was talking to my friends about it, and then one of my like best friends who I went to school with, she just opened a coffee shop bar, and she was just like, what if you do something in London? And I was like, no, London is so oversaturated. I don't see it being here, like blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, well, maybe we could like, and then we started like thinking about things, and that was like over Christmas, I don't know, 9 years ago. And then, it would have been 8 years ago. And then by the January, we were looking at properties.
Wow.
And then by like whatever March, we'd sign the lease on somewhere. And because I guess once we started really thinking about it, the idea came together quite quickly, because it was like, okay, if we're going to do a salon, I want it to be in Brixton. We grew up in Brixton.
I was going to say, why Brixton?
Yeah, I grew up in Brixton. The school I went to is up the road. It's very gentrified. We wanted to kind of like take a bit of that back, if I'm being honest, and create a space that was like, you know, welcoming to everyone, not welcoming to just like new money Brixton, but actually genuinely everyone, because a lot of places become very excluding to the old residents of Brixton. So I was like, okay, I wanted to be in Brixton, and I'd begun to be a lot cleaner in like the beauty products that I use, the deodorants, the body creams, things like that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that to myself and then create a salon that I feel is like quite toxic. Feels counterproductive, but also like it's not in line. So then I started to look into brands that were cleaner, and by that point they were kind of non-toxic nail varnishes, and there were non-toxic gels, and then once that track began, more and more things started added to it, and it started to make more and more sense, and so then that's why we've done it.
Oh wow, incredible! And 7 years on, what lessons have you learned?
Listen,
tell us the tea, y'all, because they don't sugarcoat nothing.
You always be like, no one warns me about freelance.
Seriously,
life.
I always tell my friends who are freelancers, because as you know, I quit my job and when you know, by myself to do a business, and I'm always saying, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, why didn't you warn me?
Why didn't you warn me? Because this industry, this whole be your own boss.
The only thing crazier than be your own boss is be your own boss with staff.
Yeah. Girl, if I speak,
and with a lease, and with wages to pay, that's the only thing crazier than being a solo freelancer looking after your damn self.
Right?
That's the only thing crazier. Like,
because you need to build a business, you need people. Like, yes, there's all good way having a solopreneur, but to be able to expand and to do what the vision requires.
But physically, we need people to do the nails. Like, I always say it, like, if someone calls in sick to the salon, it's not a case of, like, this person can inherit, you know, that person's workload or do the couple emails for them. We physically need someone sat there that day to cover their column. Yeah. So, I mean, it's so funny because we'd opened the salon and we went through all the, like, hoops to get it open, and it's a beautiful space, and I still love it. Gorgeous. Like, I still love the space, and I love where it is, and I love our clients. Like, our clients are so varied. They're exactly what I wanted them to be. Like, I wanted it to be a real melting pot of Brixton, genuinely, and it really is. Like, and
that's not an easy feat.
It's not easy, but then in how we designed it, I'm not a pink fluffy girl, and a lot of salons at that point were either pink and fluffy or white and sterile, and I didn't want it to be either. I wanted it to be like a nice living room that anyone felt welcoming, and it didn't only talk to one person. But then in all of our artwork, we've got like a wall of art that you look at while you're getting your nails done. And we actually need to update it because we were saying like we're about to be 7 and it's all the same artwork that we have up there. But it's a mix of like some of my work. It's a mix of like Brixton references. So it's like when Mandela came to the Brixton Rec in the 90s, there's a picture of him. There's like phrases and like quotes and like, you know, everything that's just like a picture of these like people that came in from the Windrush, and it's just a mix of things that are relevant, right? And I think because of that, it then makes everyone feel welcome, and then people come. But back to, I remember we must have been open a couple months, and I was at this event, this industry event, and there's another nail artist that I know, and he's a session manicurist as well, and he started doing nails because his wife owned a nail salon. And then I think when her staff would call in sick, he would go in and help. That's how he got into nails, and then he became a session artist.
So he had no interest in nails?
I don't know, but I don't think so, if I'm being honest. I think that's how he got into it, and he's been doing it longer than I have now. But I remember like like I said, it was a couple months into the salon being open. I was at an event and we were at this dinner together, and he was like, congrats on the salon. I was like, thanks. And he was like, what have you done? And I was like, no, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's great. And then he was like, okay, you'll see.
Just like me, right?
Yeah,
it's like, I was just like,
he was like, you'll see. And I was like, no. And I would say for a good couple of years, I still was like, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah. Relying on people
who
are not fully invested as you are. Like
relying on people who are not fully invested on you, and it's your name on the door. And I don't mean that like figurative. I mean that literally my name is on the door.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot.
Because literally, if that person gets cancelled on, or the thing is not the fact, this manicurist didn't, it's your name. It's like,
my name.
I came to Ama The Salon.
And I mean, like, I think at the beginning, people very much, our clients, because I would be in the salon every day. I wasn't shooting. I was in the salon while we built our team.
To build,
and while we built
to train
our
them
staff
and to make sure.
Train, like, I was there every day. Every day I wasn't shooting, I was there. So, like, the clients at that point very much knew who I was and knew that Ama was me. Whereas now, I think a lot of the clients don't even know, they don't know who I am. And they definitely don't even know it's a person. Right. It's no different to Smiths or WH Smith or Morley's. Like they have they don't realize it's a person.
Right.
So then
that's great. So you came out of that phase in terms of like how did you manage that? How did you manage people? Because people it's
still
please
it's still a thing all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
7 years in?
Yeah. What do you mean? Of course it is.
Wow.
Do you know how many teams we've had in that time? Do you know how many things have changed in that time?
Yeah.
Like COVID really changed the way people worked, but it really changed the way people viewed work. And I saw it in real time. Yes. It really did change the way people viewed work. Yeah. And like, I don't know if it was for the better, if I'm being honest. Right. Like, I think...
In what sense?
I don't know, like where I'm freelance, where my business partner, she doesn't work in the salon either. She also has another business that she works in. I don't have the luxury of calling in sick. I don't have the luxury of... You know, it's funny, innit? Because you think when you go freelance, you have more freedoms. And in some ways you do, right? You do. Like, I'm not having to ask anyone for the day off. I'm not having to have my 25 days of annual leave a year. Right. But there's other things that, like, I might be at work for 16 hours. You know, so there is in some ways security of obviously being a full-timer or just actually having an employed job, you know? So... it's just...
So with all this experience and time you've had in it, do you think it's worth it?
Having a business,
going freelance, be your own boss. Because sometimes I feel like
they're very different. They're very different things though. Like my freelance life, I couldn't do my job, as in like my actual job as a session manicurist. I couldn't not do it. I couldn't not be a freelancer and do it. That's how it works, right? Yeah, right. But then there's owning a business. And that's a whole different thing. Like, we've got a great team right now, honestly, genuinely. I'm not
But you've had to get to that point.
Yeah.
And you've had to kiss some frogs and you've had to...
I don't even know if it's kissing frogs. Maybe it's kicking some frogs out the door. But like, it's hard not to get like, I don't know. We've all had crap bosses, right? Yeah. We've all had horrible bosses, right? So a lot of the time, I don't know if this is a millennial thing. I've spoken to loads of friends about it. We're trying not to be that person. Yeah. Yes. Maybe that doesn't mean we don't fail in other ways. No one is calling out. I'm not saying I'm the second coming here, right? Yeah. But the point is that like, I'm trying not to be who I had. Yes. Yeah.
But in that,
people do not realize.
Girl.
So sometimes when you're giving them leeway, sometimes people will just take or are just not on their shit. They're just not sharp. They're not being professional. And it's like, girl.
If you only knew.
I'm being nice, but you need to really just do your job. Really just do your job.
And you're getting paid? Do you know the time? Like you said, we're trying to be better. I never want to be, like, you know, our parents be like, you know, when I was your age and I had to do this.
Yeah, but we're fully in that. We're fully that era now. Like, I'm actually quite fine with it that we're fully in that auntie era now.
But it's literally that.
No, it is that. Because the thing is that sometimes I'm like, there's been so many times when I would say to like my business partner or just to like my friends or whatever, like, I am managing these people's lives. the things I know that's going on with them, how I'm having to navigate this person's boyfriend being this or this person. And it's like,
cuddling them and looking after them.
I'm literally your employer. I'm not to say I'm not here for you.
Yeah,
but like,
I'm not paying for you.
So I think what I've learned as time has gone on is to almost go against my actual nature,
detach.
And I think I'm much better at it now, but I've learned to be like that because I would take things so personally. I knew these people, I knew these girls, I wanted the best for them, whether they realized it or not. Do you know what I mean? Like genuinely. And I gave them, like, I remember the day furlough was announced. So obviously COVID happened. We hadn't gone into lockdown yet. As a business owner, we did not know what happens.
The whole thing,
everything's going to close down. The government is telling us we have to close. Does that mean we pay the girls' wages? With what money? If there's nothing coming into the business, how are we paying? We're not like an online business whereby we're still turning over. If we're not physically in the salon doing nails, there's no money coming in. Right. And I remember like the day we hid it from our team how worried we were. So every day at that point, clients were coming in and telling the girls, I've been made redundant. My business has just cut off 20 people because a lot of businesses in the run up to us locking down just boiled down their staff to cut down their overheads and their outgoings. They literally just made a team of 25. They boiled down to the bare essentials. And other salons that we knew in central London just got rid of all of their staff. We didn't do any of that. We didn't cut anyone. We didn't do any of that. We waited, basically. And we were just like, okay, let's hope. And I remember furlough was announced. We had it on a laptop in the salon. And Rishi got on stage and it was like, we're announcing this thing called furlough. It will pay 8% of wages. We cried in the salon in front of clients, staff, everything. Because we were so stressed and we'd hid it from everyone. Because it wasn't for them to burden. We're the owners of the business. So it's like that part of it, like you do feel the responsibility of people's incomes.
Absolutely. You're holding someone's life.
You're holding someone's life and whoever they're responsible for as well, you know? Yeah. So like, I think, it's two very different hats. And sometimes it's hard to juggle both, if I'm being honest. Like when my work is very busy and very long and I've been at work since 5 a.m. and I've probably wrapped at 10 p.m.
And then you still got to do...
And then I've got someone texting me to say,
I'm not coming in tomorrow.
They're not coming in tomorrow because their fish died. Obviously, my patience sometimes isn't quite there.
So,
I'm better now at taking a beat before I respond to that message. Is what I've learned.
All in all to say is like, I'm thinking of just maybe packing it all in and going to teach English in Bali. Like, because I literally, when I'm speaking to people, half of the reason why I started this podcast is because I wanted to learn from those. Because I'm always like, you didn't tell me. Why didn't you tell me?
Now you're like, definitely not.
Don't get me wrong, the corporate world was sweet, but it wasn't that sweet. And,
Do you know what I will say, right? I'm not like, I don't want to talk anyone out of, I think being a freelancer and having your own career and having control of your own life is amazing. Whether I could not go back to a 9-to-5 now because if I do want to take the next 6 months off, I can. I'll be broke, but I can. Do you know what I mean? I make the decisions. The jobs that I do, my agent will say, this is coming, do you want to do it? There's no decision that's made for me. I make it for myself, right? So I wouldn't say...
That's autonomy, that's power.
100%. Yeah. Like I can decide things, there's pros and cons of anything. But I think what I would say is like now when I have friends or friends of friends or know someone that has their own business and they have staff that like are thriving and love it and love the team, that person is a diamond because I'm like, for you to have achieved this, it looks so easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to keep that amount of people happy, even when you might be giving them the world. But I might not be even doing it right, but I don't know. I'm only doing what I don't know.
Literally, because I have a friend who has a business and she does everything. She rolls out the red carpet, goes above and beyond, and the staff still steals from her. I'm just like...
See that? No. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like you can be too soft and people take advantage of that. But then then you go too hard. You see what I mean? That's my point. So when I see friends of friends or just any business and genuinely that they've got a really thriving, happy workforce, I actually you don't know that person is like genuinely won all the awards in my eyes because it's not easy. It's not easy.
How do you begin to basically trust someone with your baby? How do you build a business?
It took a long time, but I had to for my own sanity. Because I would say the first couple of years, if anything happened, I would be on the phone. I could have been in Paris on a job at whatever in a different time zone. I remember once I was in LA and like on 3 hours sleep on a job and someone called me to talk about their holiday, like their holiday leave or something. And it's like, I had to really learn to put my boundaries in and not to say this, this like word, whatever. But I had to, for my own sanity, I had to learn when I'm on holiday and not just like, just off. I mean, on holiday, I had to learn to be like, I'm on holiday.
Yeah, to cut it.
Because otherwise I can be talking to someone every day.
I hear you, girl. Oh Lord, I'm still in the beginning stages, and mine is people, but obviously not so much as you're like, you open a business and unless a client comes in, you're not making money that day, right? And the same with me, like unless I have a client something coming up, I don't make money. But it's not the fact that it's on me to obviously get a team in, but it starts with my idea, it starts with me.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not, if like, let's say my assistant doesn't send an email, I can always rectify that. But with you, if someone messes up, like, I want money back because this is not, and you know how people be. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, what kind of human race are we? Because some people are wild.
Yeah.
Some
clients are, humans are wild.
Yeah, humans are wild. Because I know. I've seen it right back. This is someone's livelihood.
Yeah. And even like in fashion, people are crazy, as you know. That's a different level of crazy because they know that they can get away with it, or they've been allowed to, or they're seen as a genius or a maverick, so they're given the red carpet. But then even within that, you have to learn. It's funny because like in my role, whether it's doing like a show for Fashion Week or doing whatever, there's kind of like no. If a client asks for something, as you know, we have to make it work. We have to find a way of making it work. So sometimes I try and kind of like find a way of like translating that to the girls in the salon as well. Is that I sometimes don't have a way of, I can't say no. So you need to find a way also of like giving a solution.
Yeah. Because it can't always be on you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like, girl, I could sit here and talk all day because that's been so... If someone's listening and wants to do what you're doing and wants to be in that realm, like we're saying, you've literally been the only one on that 500 list. It's only just you that has been on there the first time 2 years ago. I don't think I've seen anyone after you.
No, I don't think there's been another nail artist since.
Which is also quite crazy. What advice would you give? What advice would you give in terms of like navigating the industry, wanting to be a session nail artist, or opening your own salon? Like how would you...
I would say when it comes to like fashion, in some ways it's easier now than it ever was because again, there was socials when I got into it, but they weren't as they are now.
Prominent. No, definitely not.
Like Twitter was bigger then. Instagram was just filters and like a selfie.
Literally.
But like, I think it's easier to get in contact with people now than it was before. And like every show season, me and like my key assistants will probably put a call out for new assistants for shows. And, you know.
And what do you look for?
We'll look at their work.
Okay.
We'll get
showcase.
We'll look for pictures of their work. We'll be able to tell from their work how clean they paint, what their natural nail work is like. It's not just about like having the craziest nail art and the longest nail. We need to know that you can actually do like amazing cuticle work and that you file straight. It sounds so basic, but sometimes a lot of people are self-taught and they don't have the foundation. And then it's really hard to then rewind and teach them that.
Yeah. Because so in that, I also want to tell our audience, in that world, it's not, when you're on a client job, it's not the time to be teaching nobody.
No.
You ain't got time for that.
So a lot of the time we'll ask for pictures, we'll ask them to send us certain things, and then from there we'll filter down, and maybe we'll get them in for a show where there's enough of a team that
you can support,
kind of, and just see what they're like and what their timings are like, and so we're always kind of like expanding our team and looking for new people. And I would say like, in the same way that when I was trying to get into media and when again I was getting into fashion, it's so funny because like I've spoken to like a few of my assistants now about it, because, you know, even though I think I'm like 25, I'm not anymore. And like, you have these decades of experience behind you. And for years, I would always think that I was just really lucky. Like I would always just think like, you know, me meeting that guy and the Sky thing, and then him giving me the ITV woman's number, and then me going there and then me working. I always thought I was just lucky, you know? And then some way I was lucky. But then also, and I've said this to some of my girls now, is that like, when I have new assistants now, I can always tell the girls that are hungry for it. I can smell it. And not just hungry, but like eager, want to learn,
but not
respectful.
hungry. That's
respectful.
The word.
They're
They're not trying to jump over
they're not
you
trying
for
to jump
to
over
go
you,
speak to the client.
100%. And you get those that do
Oh,
those.
yes, you do.
Like you
Yes,
get
you
those
do.
ones that do that, and then the irony is that they burn that bridge themselves. Not even with me, but maybe they're not ready for that opportunity yet,
Right.
and they burn it in another way.
Yeah.
Right. But the point is that like you can tell the girls that are hungry for it, respectful for it, want to learn from you, and I want to work. Not just they're not there for the accolades. Like they want to
just
put in.
I was at this show.
Exactly.
And to be like, hey,
they want to
look
put
at
the
me.
work in. You can literally tell the difference in like minutes, right? And then when I apply that to myself, I'm like, oh, so then maybe, you know, in the same way we're talking about it now, like that hunger for something when you're younger, that kind of like naivety to just do whatever you want to do, like I can then see that in someone. So I guess someone saw it in me. So then that makes me want to give someone an opportunity because I remember being that. Do you know what I mean? So I would say put yourself out there, use social media as your tool to get in contact with agencies, with the artists themselves, with, you know, just be, I wouldn't say be annoying, but like practice, and be proactive and put yourself out there. And I think, and when it comes to, in terms of owning a salon or having your own space, again, it's a lot easier to build a client base now. Not to say that it's easy, so it doesn't mean anything, because equally we're in a recession, we're in a cost of living crisis. People are being even more careful about where they spend their money than ever before. But there's still more opportunity to touch more people now through social media than there ever was before. It's not just walk by trade. Now you can have an online presence and people can see you, you know?
No,
so I would just say, like, whatever it is you want to do, you just need to dedicate some real time to it. And don't expect to be an overnight success, but don't even want to be an overnight. Like, give yourself that time to do it properly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Girl, I could speak to you all day because I've been looking forward to this conversation for so long. But I want to do some quick fire, some interesting, fun questions. Yeah. Which I don't normally do, but with you, I really want to know.
Okay.
So I wrote them down so I don't forget. So, if your personality was a nail color or design, what would it look like, or what would it be?
If I was a nail color, I would be like definitely metallic.
Ooh.
Yeah, I really like metallics.
Really?
Yeah, I really like metallic because it's like
into your personality.
Because it's a bit like, it's a bit off. It's not like a glitter. It's not a solid. It's a bit shiny, but it's a bit something, but not too loud.
Yeah.
But also, it's a bit aunty. It's a bit like, I just love it, and I love when it's like an odd color with a metallic. Yeah. So like whether it's a red metallic or like electric blue metallic, and it's a bit off, but it's actually like stunning.
Wow, I like that. I like that. Okay, so what is your most favorite unconventional beauty tip?
I don't even know, you know.
Like we were saying, in terms of like the way people see beauty, they never see nails. So like for me, nails is like my thing. I would forgo buying the latest.
Oh, what's the thing that I would always have?
Yeah.
Now I always, I mean, don't look now because I need to have them done. But my thing now is just I always have my lashes done.
They look good.
Yeah, but they.
I was looking at them earlier.
No, they need to be done. But like I always have my lashes done.
Okay.
Because again, like a lot of the time I don't really have a lot of makeup on. Right. Even sometimes most days nothing on, to be honest. But if I have my lashes on, and I get them done quite naturally, but then I just feel like it's something, you know. It
just
like,
gives the little
Yeah, it's just something. So yeah, my thing is kind of like lashes, to be honest. And good skincare. That's I'm not really that worried about aging, if I'm being honest. I don't really mind if I have any grey hairs or any wrinkles. If my skin is like hydrated, it's all I really care about.
Nice. Yeah. And what is something I would find, what is something I wouldn't expect to find in your nail kit?
So my assistants, like, they went through my kit because they say, like, I'm a hoarder. I mean, I'm not, but whatever. And they made me throw away loads of things and organise all these things. But one thing I, like, made us hold on to was, like, we have this pouch and it has hydration tablets, and it has like ginseng tablet and all these different like calming things. Yeah. And that's basically like, because I was like, listen, when we're on a crazy day, this is our wellness pack. Yeah. So we have to have a wellness pack in the kit. Mm-hmm. So that's what's something that you probably wouldn't think would be in the kit.
Okay. Yeah. And is that for you or is that for the client?
No, it's for us. It's literally for us. There's like a little like cordially face spray. It's like we need it for us to regulate. Maybe we've been on set for 12 hours in a black room or in the middle of a forest or something. We just need to like take a second.
Yeah, I hear
you.
No,
it's for us.
And it's also true because like you do the nails first, right? But you don't, unlike
Well,
makeup
sometimes
or
they
hair,
change them. We don't, unless
but
it's
you
like,
don't have to touch it up like how
unless,
you do
no,
with
unless it's like a look.
or multiple.
Exactly. So if it's a
looks.
look and then maybe like, you know, maybe there's a press on, so you need to be on set to make
Yeah,
sure it doesn't pop
yeah,
off
yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that. Or
exactly.
maybe they change looks or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. But no, we don't always need to be like on set every minute like hair and makeup, but it just depends on what it is.
So
If
there's a
it's
lot of waiting. So what do you do in that time?
half the time I'm doing salon stuff.
Okay.
Or to be fair, sometimes what it is as well is that I think traditionally nail girls, like my equivalent of a session girl, is that they would often just be in the back. They would be in the hair and makeup room. And if you want these stylists and these brands and these photographers to remember you, you need to be on set.
You need to be outside.
You need to be on set.
Yeah.
How do they know you?
Yeah.
How do they differentiate you from that person, from that person, if they don't know you?
Because they
they have to know you.
They do kind of put you in the book because they nails are sometimes an afterthought,
100%.
right? Because like the client is very much about the hair's not
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
great.
yeah. Because
the
it's
wing needs
here.
to be this,
the person could have a glove on, the person could be in the
Literally,
pockets, and then your department is out. Like,
I always love it when you post some of your work and you've done a nail and they've literally put a glove on, or the hand is literally behind.
Happens all the time. Like, it's like you can't even get mad about it because you'll be mad for no reason.
Yeah.
But like, it happens all the time. So because of that, we're not always at the forefront. And I'm not saying be on set and be in everyone's face. But like, if these people don't know you, they don't know you. Build a relationship.
It's building relationships with everything. Like I always say, it's like people are like, Deborah, how did you get to whatever? It's literally building relationships. It's literally being authentic. Don't be fake with 100%. It because a lot of people are doing it just to...
Also, you got to find your tribe. There's people that I've worked with that like, it's fine, we'll work together, but they're not my people, and that's fine. But also, find your tribe.
Absolutely, and it's the long game. It's not quick, like you said. Some people have gone and then burned their bridges with the client.
100%.
Everything is like a progression. It's not an overnight success.
And it's not to keep people back, but sometimes don't run before you can walk. Because sometimes there's certain situations that you're not quite ready for and have got enough experience in how to navigate, and then you'll go there and you'll burn an opportunity that could have been amazing in the future.
But because they think that,
it's my time.
It's so wild. It's so wild. Anyway, and then so in terms of all the things we've spoken about, what do you take as self-care and wellness? How do you just release the stress?
I mean, like, it depends. It depends how busy I am at that time. It depends on, like, what's going on. If the salon's manic, if I'm manic, if it's fashion week. It just depends where in the season it is. For me, it's taking care of myself. Like, I'm, you know, very newly into my 40s now.
Welcome to the fourth floor, girl.
And, you know, like, there's just little things like I've got really bad knees. I've got arthritis in my knees. Oh, wow. So whether it's about like if I'm doing fashion month and I'm wherever I'm in Paris or whatever, it's about taking my hemp cream with me. It's about taking my Theragun with me. It's doing the little things that are going to make it softer. Do you know what I mean? And just make things a bit softer. Looking after myself so that I'm not...
Because the industry is brutal.
That's what I'm saying. And it's long days and it's crazy days and it's relentless. And some ways we're very lucky. Like, we get cars, we get fed, but like it can be... It's draining in another kind of way. Absolutely. So like... It's about I always just try to make things softer for myself. Do you know what I mean? And like...
You deserve that though.
Yeah.
Because...
You just have to make things softer for yourself. And like now at the moment, like I've got hypopigmentation and hyperpigmentation.
Huh? Say that again?
So hyperpigmentation is darker.
Right, yeah.
Hypo is lighter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've got both, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
Because like a couple of years ago, like in 2021, I went to Portugal, came back and I had like white patches here.
Really?
Yeah.
But you would think you go darker because they've got the sun.
No, but then it was like the sun. I don't know. Anyway, hypo. You can get hypo. Wow. Because it's sun sensitivity. So it's like maybe like you had a product on that like lightened it or whatever, different things like this. So for example, now I've got a red light mask that I've had for a long time. Yeah. But now I'm trying to be stricter and be like, no, you have to use it 5 times a week. Wow. To like regulate it again. Oh so it's just about like taking the time in and amongst the madness to just soft life a little bit.
Yeah, we deserve soft life. So last question, because I've got so much, but I feel like we need to wrap it up. Where do you see like the industry going? How do you see like the creative, like nails, how this, not trends, because I don't want to do that, but I feel like it's always been there. Like you said, there was people before you, right? And there'll be people after you. Yeah. How do you see in the world of social media, AI, being, you know, everything can be made on whatever. How do you see that?
I think that's an interesting question because literally in the last month we've had like H&M and Zara both announced that they now have created campaigns with AI, and they've scanned the models, like 5 of the biggest models right now. They've done body scans of them, and they're actively going to use them in campaigns. So like everyone,
and they're saying it with their chest.
No, they had like they've said it, like this is what we're doing, and they've made whatever their excuses why they're doing it, whatever. But it effectively means that my department, hair, makeup, photographer, everyone is redundant. It's effectively the computer whiz and the model, and not even the model because they've done the body scan. But the model will still get paid every time their twin is used, right? And it's really sent shockwaves in the industry. Absolutely. Like everyone is really scared. I don't know. I feel like I might be being woefully ignorant, but I feel like there's always a moral panic like this. Yeah. And it might just be that the smaller campaigns get used, like the e-commerce and stuff like that. And it might be that the big campaigns still happen because then there'll be a reverse kind of thing of wanting authenticity, of wanting to know that trouser on the model is real trouser and it's not like computer generated. So I don't really know where the industry is going right now. I think, or where it's going to be in 5 years' time. I think it's about, I always try not to be on the trend and not be too scared by the trends and follow the trend. But equally, I know it can be really hard to find creativity in and amongst so much. So I don't really have an answer to your question.
I hear you. Oh, I know I said it was the last.
I'm just going to try and stay employed.
I've got 2 more questions. Okay. So I'm going to really try and finish. Okay. So first question, what was your favorite design creative for a brand? And then do we possibly have like a collab or some products coming maybe?
Okay, so my favorite nail that I've ever done, I think, well, one of them for sure was, I think maybe about 4 years ago. And it was for Alaya, and it was for their show. And the Alaya heart is like one of the real like emblems of the brand. And I got the call from Peter, who's like the creative director, and I had to have all these like Zooms with them, and they knew they wanted like a heart on the nail. So then I had to like draw up some sketches of where it would be and how it would work. And they then like sent me over the leathers from that collection. Then we had these hearts made with like laser cutting, and then stuck them on the nail, and it was just like they were perfectly like on the edge, on the tip of the nail, like suspended. And we made them in like, the heart came in black, white and gold, again all the leathers from the collection. And then but we used the blacks, and like Peter loved them, Dame Pat loved them, everyone loved them. And I think that was like, it was quite a big moment. Yeah. So I really loved those. And I'm trying to think of some others. Like,
oh my God, you've had so many.
There's been, I've been quite lucky. Like,
please like post more. Like, Simone, people go on her page and like tell her to post more. Tell her to like showcase more, because she's got there's so many things that don't make the gram. I know it because I've seen things, and there's so. But I need you to really. It makes me happy. So please just keep doing it. And then. Will we possibly get some...
Oh, what? A brandy thing?
A brand or even a self...
Yeah, I mean, branded. I mean, that's always been on the card since the salon opened. Like, would there be, like, our products? Again, it's about trying to find the right product and trying to find something that feels right. The same way it took me a long time to open the salon. I think with this, it's also, like, finding a product that feels like it's worth it. It's worth the time and the effort, but also, like... I think people put out a lot of stuff just to do something, and I don't really want to do that. Like, I want to make sure it's like good.
I hear you.
So I'm sure there will be.
Okay. Well, you have to come back and give us the exclusive if it does. Okay. Oh, Ama, thank you. Like I said, I could sit here and talk to you forever. Like, I'm so glad we did this. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being so candid and open. And I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe for more. Thank you. Bye.